out of my way to check him out. I don't see my family at all. I have grandchildren that I've never met. And my kids, I call them occasionally. They can never call me. They don't know where I am. I can never make a collect call. The FBI was treated me very well as far as money went. They gave me enough money and everything. But the hardest thing is to change your lifestyle. But I get by, I get by. But I got even. I got even, and I'm happy for it.
Sto dando questa intervista perché diciamo che un po' per una coscienza.
Let's just say that I'm giving this interview to clear my conscience. Because I want to tell people to stay away from drugs. Because the only thing that drugs could do is to ruin you.
Essere un po' in pace con me
stesso. In this way I could be peaceful within myself.
Poi
I don't have to feel this fire inside. And I have to say that the federal government has treated me well. They went out of their way to help me and to put me in a good position. Let's just say, keep me out of danger. They protected me well. And they made sure that nobody would recognize my name. It's a bad life. But if you have something to do with the FBI, they're humans. They understand you, they'll help you.
Well, in the early 70s, Tommaso Buscetta was arrested in Brazil. And in the Eastern District of New York, we had an indictment on Tommaso Buscetta for trafficking in drugs. And at that time, a decision was made not to pursue extradition of Buscetta back to America, but allowed the Italians to bring him back to Italy, in which he was incarcerated for approximately 6 or 7 years. He was subsequently released in Italy on a prisoner program and remained there in Italy for a few years, involved in the drug wars, or what was termed the wars in Sicily between the Greco organization and the Corleonese people, and then eventually fled to South America. In 1984, in the summer of 1984, he was arrested by the Brazilian police, and during his incarceration attempted suicide. However, when the Italians came to see him, they did convince him to return to Italy and develop and speak of information he knew of the mafia in Sicily and its workings.
In the province of Palermo, the family takes its name from its hometown. Above the family, there's a commission. It's made up of people nominated by us, or people that used to be nominated by us because I'm not there anymore. Let's just say so-called bosses. These so-called bosses encompass 3 families, and between them, they picked one that would go represent the commission. The boss of the commission in 1980 was Mr. Michele Greco.
During that time, also, an agreement was worked out by the United States and Italy at the highest levels for Tommaso Buscetta to come to the United States and cooperate with the American authorities in what was termed as the pizza case here in New York. And a number of the members of that pizza investigation in New York, which was conducted duly by the FBI and DEA, had to do with mafia members, made members of the mafia who were involved in the drug trafficking here in New York and throughout the United States.
This is the beginning of my love-hate story with Salvatore Spatola. It was around 85, in the beginning 85. Spatola and I we created some kind of
Nel
society,
mio caso, noi siamo stati
or
primi a
whatever you want
portare
to
la
call it.
cocaina in Italia.
I would bring the clients and he had the
2
drugs.
chili di cocaina per 1 chilo di eroina.
In my case,
In Italia
we
la
were the first to
cocaina
bring coke in
valutata
Italy.
10 volte il prezzo
2
del
kilos
chilo
of
che
cocaine
valutato
for a kilo of
qua. Quando è
heroin,
iniziato il primo
because
processo della
coke was
pizza
worth
Canese,
10 times
il
more
patrone mi ha avvicinato
than the
se io
price here.
conoscessi qualcuno da
When the
dare una
first
lezione
pizza
a
connection
qualcuno,
trial started,
unire qualcuno, ma
Salvatore
non si
approached
trovano
me
mai dove
to ask
andare.
me if I knew someone
Questo è nato dopo.
that could teach someone else a lesson, punish someone.
Non lo so, oggi,
But we never talked about killing
oggi come
anyone.
oggi non
That happened later.
2 anni prima
I don't know if
della
I do the
in
same
quel
thing
momento
today, but a
ho
couple of
accettato
years ago I just accepted everything.
senza esitazione.
I knew a few friends in Brooklyn
Conoscendo alcuni amici
that
di
had a
Brooklyn
kind of
che avevano la
reputation
reputazione
for
di
doing certain kinds of jobs.
fare certi lavori, di-
I got in touch with my dear
un
friend.
mio caro amico. Ci siamo messi
And we
d'accordo,
made an
non ci
agreement.
siamo incontrati con Spatola a casa
We met in
mia.
my house with
E là
Salvatore,
abbiamo fatto un deal
and we made a deal.
da punire questo Alfano.
Perché doveva essere punito Alfano?
Why did you have to punish this
Non si
Alfano?
poteva toccare Badalamenti. Badalamenti era
Because
protetto
Badalamenti was an
dalla
untouchable.
polizia americana, quando
He was
mi
protected by the American
che
police
è un posto di
that
massima
put him in a
sicurezza.
maximum security prison.
E penso che l'altra fazione comandata da
And I think that the
Catalano
other faction
nel
was led by
nella guerra alla
Catalano.
droga, per avere più possesso,
and in the drug wars,
uccidere